Boing, boom, shock.
Welcome, everybody, to this episode of Runs0b3r podcast. This is episode number
45.
45.
45. 45.
Yeah.
Estamos fazendo a coisa, pessoal.
So we don't only talk about running and sobriety, but all walks of life for every one of us has a unique story. The journey begins and ends with us. Today, me and Eric are gonna spit game at each other. Eric is across the table from me. His name is
Eric J. Henderson.
Eric J. Henderson, and I am Brandon K. Veltman.
DK double.
So we're gonna do a recap of last weekend. We both were out at Grasslands. I was doing the 100-miler and Eric was doing the 50-miler, and that was a demon of a course.
Yeah, boy.
Because of the heat, for one. So many people were out, had to DNF and quit because it was too much, a lot of throwing up, really just throwing up water mostly because maybe they fell behind on the electrolytes and the nutrition. And that happens a lot in those long races.
Pickle juice got to be on point.
Oh yeah, for sure. The pickle juice on point.
Or whatever you do.
Whatever kind of sodium intake you want to take in, it needs to be a plus. I was using Hyperlite. Shout out to Hyperlite. And that was my nutrition. I started that race with First Form pre-workout.
Good stuff. I was saying I'm going to add a pre-workout to my race too, like in the mids.
Yeah. So I took that twice during the 100-miler. And what
First Form?
First Form. And it was three different powders.
Okay.
And one was called Ignite. I'm not sure what the other two are, but it's all pre-workout basically. And it was the first 15 to 18 miles, I was rocking it.
Felt clean
to the point.
Not bounced, but you just felt clean.
I felt clean. I wasn't itchy. You know how a lot of those pre-workouts will get you all itchy and
that beats well.
Yeah. So it's so I damn, there they go, the race cars, baby. That's us running. Hey, so I took that, and then when I got my pacer at mile 55 or whatever, I took another one.
Okay.
So just to
55.
reignite myself. Yeah. So until then I was holding on basically. And
95 degrees.
Yes. Oh yeah. And so, I don't recommend that if you're not used to that, don't give it a whirl right away because that's a lot and you'll go out fast. So I went out pretty fast. I was looking at nine something per mile, which is fast for me. Not fast for the elites, but it was fast for me. And so you can burn out real quick by doing that.
To recover from a 9-minute pace in the beginning. Or did you do that at 55?
No. In
the beginning.
So, this was the very beginning, all the way
you
to
you could have wrecked the whole thing.
Yeah,
That's good. That's good.
So this was the first time that I've tried this. So this was something new. So I was going out there with a new whole new game plan, and yeah, man, it worked out in the end. I did finish. Got 16th place, man.
And your pace 16:54, something like that.
Yeah,
That's solid. I mean, that was my 50-mile pace.
Yeah. So how was that 50 miler? I know both of us had some DNFs 2 years ago with the same race, and it had a lot to do with weather condition. It wasn't necessarily us falling apart. How was your 50 miler?
Yeah, I think a couple of years ago, mine was just straight up physical. Messed up my foot, shouldn't have done it. But you don't say that before or even barely after. I can say it now a couple of years later, but it felt still like garbage DNFing. But it was at the end of it, I was like, man, it's cool. It didn't even get as hot as it was supposed to be. And then my man tells me, yo, it was 95 degrees.
Yeah.
I said, oh, shoot. And then I said, well, I didn't feel it like that. The lady was spraying the water mist on you, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And
nice.
I was like, miss, please. I was freezing on that.
Oh, really?
From the mist.
Wow.
But then it occurred to me, I said, I didn't feel the 95. And I said, well, 2 aid stations where I spent 20 minutes.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is why I don't feel so bad about my 14 hours now, because I've never spent that long at an aid station. So the heat, even though my mind didn't catch it, the body, you can't lie to it.
Yeah, for sure. But it's a good finish. Is that the furthest finish you've hit or no?
No, I've done a few 50s. Yeah,
few 50s. Okay,
50 Ks.
100K. You're attacking.
100 Ks I've done. Yeah.
Okay.
And at Lake Murray, it was 100K, but I doubled back to be sure I didn't DNF. So I got 75 miles in that running that freaking
Shout out to 75 miles.
My money's worth.
So next race that we're gonna attempt, I think we haven't signed up yet, is gonna be the Arkansas Traveler 100 miler. That will be Eric's first 100 attempt, and I think he'll do super well. And I think we'll have a pretty good group going out there. So it's always fun to have community out there. So so it'll be fantastic. I think. Lulu, she's gonna try it again, and
she PR'd her 100K.
Yeah.
On the 75. Was feeling iffy, as we all would, about that not finishing, but still, I'm like, yo, you ran out 100K in that heat and beat your 100K at Black Canyon.
Yeah,
so, I mean,
and I was, man, I don't know. I was talking to my pacer, and we were like, should she have given up? You know, her pacers talked her into it maybe, and she just thought she wasn't moving fast enough. But I think she could have probably squeezed it out.
I don't know. Once that body hit, once you start seeing 25 minutes,
it becomes a struggle. But
then the other body is waiting on you. 10 miles. You know, it really is. You catch another body and soul, because at one moment I had the big quit muscle flexed up, right?
Yeah,
as it will, and it wasn't even a quit muscle. It was just looking at the body, and I didn't know where I was.
Yeah.
I was like, I just don't, there's no more go forward.
Right.
Literally. And so I said, I didn't know if these things are going to give out or what, but then if you just disregard the body and just say, go that way.
Yeah.
Then.
Yeah. It becomes mental, kind of, right?
Yeah.
It's like every time. It's like, man.
I mean, it's a full-on can't.
Yeah.
That if you don't hit that, you ain't doing it right.
It's okay.
Some people say I never hit it, but I'm like,
walk,
you got to push it. I don't want to.
You know,
we're not out there to walk the whole.
Yeah. Well, me and Sam. So I was with Sam for a while, and we power hiked maybe two of the loops, which was probably maybe almost close to 20 of the miles we were power hiking and trying to just beat the sun, you know, which the sun was beating all of us. But
you got to be on a Greenpeace conservation mission. You got to be on in that. And get this, what you just did, power hiking, if your total pace was 16:54, right? People don't know, like you were walking probably at 15 and 14.
Yeah.
You
definitely
have gotten that, or less. Because I saw my walking, I was like, oh crap, I'm walking at 13. Like, so then it hit me, Eric, don't run what you can walk. So it's better to walk 13 than to shuffle 13.
Right.
That just hit me.
Yeah.
So when I was running, I said, let's get some 30. And even though my pace was
so that's a big thing that you're saying right there. That's like, because people will shuffle and they could walk at that same pace, and they just don't realize that they're putting out less.
Yeah.
You know, it's going to be less wear and tear on the body, and it sucks walking, and us ultra runners, we never say walk, so it's always power hike, because walking is,
you're not cruising. I mean,
walking is just like it's almost an insult to us, So whenever people say, "Oh, you guys are walking half of that damn 100-miler," and like, no, we're power hiking that half that 100-miler. We're not walking. Okay,
I thought specifically about that.
we're just
this
not running
weekend.
fast.
I thought about that. I said, somebody says, well, anybody can get out there and walk. And so this is for the totally uninitiated. Number one, you can't just get out and even just walk 100 miles.
Right.
Number one, we're under time.
Yes.
Ain't nobody going to be out there for you for 40 hours. Yeah, you could do it in 2 days maybe, but even then.
Yep.
But two, that walking is not walking. And plus, it's a goal of mine to be like a big brother Nick.
Yeah.
And not the speed. That's otherworldly. But if I'm able to run all 50, because that's what they do.
Right. Yeah.
And that's amazing.
Yeah.
So it's a trail running goal to be able to. First, you're thinking complete, but then you're thinking how much of it can actually run, and that's your time.
Right. Yeah. I like that. And you know what? So I'm going to be in like a rebuilding phase, I think now, and I do have the 100-miler coming up. I have a few things coming up. I'm going back out to Speed Goat, and we got to meet the Speed Goat. During the briefing of that race, because he came out to the Grasslands and he ran the Grasslands, which was awesome.
Oh yeah, we had a few OGs.
So
Meltzer was there.
Yeah. And so it was.
Bam did second.
Place,
it was like a training run for him. He rocked it.
Yeah. He's
In your rebuild, you mean
so when I'm talking about rebuilding, I want to rebuild some speed.
Yes.
The endurance part, I think I got it under control. So I'm not. I feel like I do well on the endurance, but the speed and holding that speed is the key that I want to rebuild. Yeah. So I want to start doing
more back to back.
Not 100-milers as much, but more like a 25Ks or something smaller. You know what I mean? But something that's just a fast all-out race and see if I can just hold that whole time of speed. Just like what you're saying Nick does in the 100-miler, I would like to do in the 25K. You know what I mean? Or something a little smaller and try to hold my whole time of speed. You know, like when I told you I took that pre-workout, held like 18 miles. Well, and then you feel feel yourself falling off, you know, like you're wearing out, you know.
You see the future.
Yeah. So when I say rebuild, I'm going to start small, man, and which I haven't done the whole in my running career. It hasn't been very long, but I haven't been. I've kept progressing in distance, and not just saying, hey, let me shoot for this 10K or this 5K and see what I can do, man. You know,
there's two different worlds there.
Yeah. For sure.
Because the day and a half after I went out to White Rock Lake, because I was feeling bad about my time, but I'm like, Eric, you haven't trained enough, and so be happy that you got it. But then I ran 10 miles at around 8:40 something. But that's a different world, meaning for you to build speed and for me to build speed, I said I need to get a lot more, 20, 30 back-to-backs, because you're slowly building the machine that can run faster over longer. So those short things, I'm good. You give me a marathon down, and I'm going to do it.
Yeah,
but
that doesn't do it well.
Doesn't translate to 50. Because I looked at my little thing. He says, "Well, great job, but that ain't going to help you." I'm like, "Oh." I said, I wanted to simulate running on tired legs. He said, "Well, you did do that, but you were mostly aerobic, and so it's not really translating to." But it was just good for me mentally to know that I could still move,
right,
without even having really gotten into my training like I want to.
And so also I'm thinking when you just said it's good for you mentally, I'm thinking getting a few wins under your belt would be good for you mentally too. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna try to do pretty well. And I saw some friends over the weekend, female friends, and they won out at Irving Marathon, and they only did the 10K, but they got the trophies, you know. Yeah, and I saw two of the girls I knew, and I was like, man, you know what? I never ever give that a shot. You know what I mean? I'm always like, I think, I'm too good for the 10K, or I'm too good for the 5K. Instead, man, why not do it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why not give that a shot and see if I can train up to that, and if I can start getting my mileage like, in the 7s or whatever, and I'd fucking be loving it, man.
And there's also that, which is, I said, well, it doesn't exactly translate, but dog, any physical activity you do builds that body.
Yeah.
And so if you can get out there and run 10, your marathon shoots, if you're in the woods running 9s for 18, and then your marathon's got to be down in those,
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't exactly translate, but still the strength of building that body does, because not many people are out there clocking.
Yeah.
And plus, what do you think about your place? I remember you came in and you said, am I doing decent in the Masters? You were.
Oh, yeah.
And so
it was
you snuck up into a really good time. I looked at
I was number
16th.
6 in the Masters, but I thought so this is what, when Matt came to pace me, Matt Leake, he was like, hey man, you're second in the Masters. And I was like, second? So he must have read it wrong, because he was looking over the whole board, and I guess it was showing that I might have been, but some of the others maybe haven't been calculated yet or something like that. So I ended up being 6th, and it wasn't, I never got passed by anybody, and I never passed anybody. So in that time frame. So it was like, when I was with Matt, we never got passed.
But you flipped the switch once you heard second place, didn't you?
Oh, yeah. It made me think that, yeah. I got excited. I was like, wow. And I even told Chris when I finished the race, I was like, hey, man, did I do well in the Masters? And he goes, oh, no, man. There were so many people. I was like, oh, damn it.
That was funny.
But I was kind of excited, man, about that, because I'm about to hit 50 years old. So this whole Masters division is going to be like something we can strive for. I know you're older than me, so it's like, because trying to go against the full board or the youngsters is useless at this point.
It's gotten immediately younger.
Yeah.
It wasn't that young even 3 years ago.
Oh yeah.
And so now you got 20s.
And it's like these records are getting broken over and over again.
Yeah.
It's like they're breaking their own records. So, I mean, this was a hot race, so it was hard for Nick to get out there and break his own record, but he definitely can.
He still fell within an hour. I mean, he was in that middle space. Yeah.
So he's done better, but it's, yeah.
But I'm gonna put a secret out there, man. In the last 2 miles, I think I was around 10 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
And below, because
that's awesome, man.
I know that's when everybody has exactly nothing, and we do this down and back, and you feel that the down is never going to stop. It's like, where is the freaking turnaround sign?
Yeah.
And so I just saw.
Oh, at the 50 miler.
Yeah, in the 50 miler.
Oh, that's the very end. Yeah.
And so I know everybody's like, the heck, what are we doing? And I'm like, okay, I see 6 people.
Right. Yeah, nice.
And so you change your mind. I said, I'm gonna go get 6 places in the last 2 miles.
Yeah.
And you can always do that.
Yeah. That out and back is running that fence line, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that. So I did the 50 mile out there one year, and it's the first year they had it. And And
there were people ahead of me right there. And that's what I love about this sport. It's competitive and still human, humane, friendly. The beasts are going to get theirs. But Nick will pass you. Hey, you all right, man? Good to see you.
Yeah. So
he's clocking 8 minutes.
We were talking about Nick Peterson, how he'll turn around, stop, give you a hug, possibly, or a high five, or very friendly. Hey, everything going well? Blah blah blah. And then he turns around, and there's more than he's doing it more than just me, or more than he's probably doing it to majority of the field that he knows, so how does he do that and manage to still just destroy? It's like, wow,
I think
that's
you build
badass.
it into your that's his sneaky 8 stop.
Yeah.
Like if I catch myself dropping at 7, I'm gonna turn around and say hi to somebody. Hey man, like how you doing? Then catch it back up.
That's awesome, man. He was with Chad was pacing him, Chad Saylor, and I was like, man, hey, what's up, guys? And it was the only time I saw him. It was kind of towards the end, and but it was awesome seeing him. Always seeing that's one good thing about Grasslands is every face out there almost we know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we've seen them before. That's what's good about Blaze Trail Runs. Period. Is the community is pretty much we've seen them before. They're all friendly, and that's the beauty of it, and the beauty of the sport, which is awesome too.
Man, we're blessed here in Texas for this, and with Blaze Trails and Grasslands just being named one of the OG 100s. I forget what the specific designation was, but wasn't that named one of the top 100-mile races? Because, I mean, it's good to have a flat one for those fast guys to mix into their, races and training and whatever, and there's nothing like this one. And plus, it ain't all the way flat.
Right.
I mean, it's like,
yeah, definitely not. So we don't ever discuss us and our lives. We're always reaching out to our guests and having them always go over their lives, and so briefly, let's just start off with ourselves, and I'll start off and just say I was born here in Dallas at Dallas Methodist Hospital.
right, Methodist.
Yeah. And so this is where we land near you. Was my first house was Faye Street in DeSoto, Texas.
FAYE?
Yeah.
I lived on that street.
What? Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. So that was the house that I went home to after I was born in Faye Street. Yeah.
Damn.
That's crazy.
Zager Park right around the corner.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So I wasn't too familiar, of course, because we moved. I mean, my folks got divorced when I was 5 years old. So, but my dad remained. He owned that house and rented it out. He owned and stayed there, and rented it out when my mother moved on and moved in with her parents. And that's where I ended up moving to also, which was in Cedar Hill. So it wasn't too far, which is pretty wild. Yeah. And they lived, so they lived, where the red towers or it's almost TV towers or something like that.
Yeah.
It's like the hill.
Exactly.
It's like the
7 miles from my house right
back
now.
of Joe Pool Lake, basically, is where it is. Yeah.
Next to the fire station.
Yeah. So she grandma lived back there, and she lived that.
Whoa. Great place to live.
Oh yeah. Well, the only thing was there was a cemetery in the backyard.
That's an OG cemetery. They had to be there since the 1900s.
Yeah, man. And so when I was staying there, she would have all these spiders, which were daddy long legs. So supposedly those are poisonous spiders. I didn't.
Nah, daddy long legs.
I mean, I don't. Somebody told me that they are, but their mouths are too small to bite you. Somebody said that. I don't know what it was, or it might not have been somebody. I might have read that somewhere. Yeah, might want to look up daddy long legs.
They told us we could play with those. I mean,
yeah. Was that my doorbell?
Check it.
Okay.
We'll play some Jeopardy music. Yeah. And some hand puppets. This is a rhinoceros. It's like a trail running rhinoceros, right? This is a giraffe. This is an eel. What we got? This here's a peacock. This is a parrot. I heard you.
All right. We're back. So, back to the Cedar Hill, yeah, and near Lake Joe Pool Lake. So it was not Faye Street. So I was telling you about the daddy long legs, and we were going to do some research on that. And my grandmother also had a big white Cujo looking dog.
Yo.
So it was like, and her house, she didn't ever turn on the lights. So it was always dark in the house, and it was a spooky house. It was a spooky house. Cemetery. Yeah.
Damn.
This is like,
I got the
this
recipe.
is the story of a horror movie, right? Yeah. The recipe of a horror movie. So I just wanted to tell you a little bit about, and my sister went to high school with you, is how I met Eric J. Henderson, which is pretty wild. It was like, she was like, hey, brother, I have this friend, and I think he does the same kind of shit you do. And I was like, oh yeah, let me look him up. And I looked up his social media, and that's when that was the race that you got lost that you.
Oh yeah,
yeah, yeah.
that
So,
happens.
so the one you did the
Again.
70-something miles on or whatever that you were lost on, and I was like, I think I messaged you and I said, "Hell yeah, great job, man!" And you got them extra miles in or something like that. And then we became buds after that, which was pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And that's how we're kind of at where we're at now. And Eric, give me a little bit about you.
Take us from Cedar Hill up to now.
Okay, yeah. Let me go. Cedar Hill. So, my mother, she was at the time her best friends. So we also were like in the horse play day. My sister rode horses. My grandfather had a farm, and my mother's husband that she ended up marrying, his brother kept his horses on the farm, or grandpa's farm. So he would rent out space for.
Where was that?
It was between Cedar Hill and DeSoto. I think it was a DeSoto resident, maybe.
Chunk of land around
there. It was just a big piece of land, and there wasn't a lot going on there at the time. And so they used to have a lake house that my mother went down with them to visit, and she ended up meeting the brother that she ended up marrying. So
wow.
So yeah. So it was through friends basically, and it was the brother and I was maybe 6, and I was going down there with her, and my sister was a little older, my sister's 9 years older than me. So she was 15 when I was 6. So yeah. So it was around that time my sister was just about to start driving. So I was stuck going to that lake house for the longest time before, even after they got married. It was like a weekend thing. Every weekend they would go. And at first we started staying in like trailers and campers.
Yeah.
And then the boys, there was 3 brothers and a sister. They ended up building a house. They got their friends together and they built a big house that housed everybody.
Wow.
Yeah, all the uncles, aunts, and the cousins all were upstairs, and so yeah, it was pretty cool. I learned
Walton's tip.
Yeah, so I learned like the lake life. It was Cedar Creek Lake. If you're familiar with Cedar Creek, yeah. So that's where we were in Maybank, Texas. But anyways, we ended up moving up to Carrollton, Texas. Was where my mother and my stepfather ended up getting together, living with each other. I moved up there. He had 2 sons, so I ended up having 2 stepbrothers right away, which was cool. One was 9 months older than me, so it was like we were
brother.
Oh, we were brothers, and we were the same age, playing all the sports together, everything, So yeah, it was cool. What about you, E? Tell me a little bit about were you born in the DFW?
Yeah, right across from you. I was in Presbyterian.
Okay, nice.
And what's the other hospital right around there?
So Dallas Methodist was one. There was a Presbyterian, Dallas Presbyterian.
Yeah, or St. Paul. No, my brother was born St. I was born Presbyterian.
Oh, okay, nice.
And 68, I remember it well.
Yeah, nice.
Then family, we moved from Dallas to Houston. To Atlanta, Dallas to Houston to, Atlanta. And I started first grade the same time with my brother because they didn't because of my birthday being in December.
Okay.
So I would
when
have
is your birthday?
Sit out the whole year, December 1st.
December 30th.
Yeah.
Hey, damn it.
Yeah, we better not find blood between us.
Yeah, right.
So it's like, then we moved I started first grade in Atlanta at Brumby Elementary School in Marietta, Georgia. Cool. Then we moved in a U-Haul. We rolled a little Volkswagen Beetle up into the back of that U-Haul, threw all the other furniture in. Mom was on a plane. Me and my 3 brothers and my dad, we drove across from Atlanta to Culver City, California, which is L.A. Okay. Then went in L.A. We were there from 1st to 3rd grade.
So y'all were moving around a lot.
Yeah, and then moved back to Dallas.
So what was the reason for all the moving?
Yeah, good call. My dad's job, he was working at the time for a company called Reynolds Metals.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
And then became Howmet, and so he was in sales and whatnot with them.
Right.
And so we were just and we're young, and it's a beautiful thing to have seen the country at that age when your eyes start to get open at 5 years old. I remember the Arch of St. Louis. I remember driving across the country.
Yeah.
Something I recommend doing 3 times. Do it by yourself for sure one time.
Right.
I drove. I got back to Texas about 4 or 5 years ago. After 25 years in New York City, I drove from New York City to Dallas. But I've driven across the country a couple times.
Yeah.
And it's always a Pulp Fiction story waiting on you, man.
I bet.
Yeah. Drive it the second time with anybody you think is a friend, because around hour 15, you'll figure it out.
Right.
And then the third time you drive it, maybe add a couple people and then switch them drivers. But those 3, one, then 2 people, then anything after
Then
that.
multiple.
Yeah.
Multiples. Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, dang, it was a trip. We moved back from LA to Dallas, and my dad saw that corporate whatever was eating him up.
Yeah.
Meaning, I remember a story that he told my brother. We all played football, Oak Cliff Jets football.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
And
So were y'all living in when you moved back? Were you
Oak
living in Oak Cliff? Okay.
Oak Cliff.
Okay.
Grew up right there. 67 in Polk was our church.
Okay.
Keast and lived not too far from Keast Park at Cockrell Hill, in this exchange place near that Army Exchange.
So what's funny is my father was the mayor of Cockrell Hill. Oh, right.
Nuts,
so was that Jefferson that goes through
town.
there? Or?
No. We're the Cockrell Hill. The street goes longer, but where you come down to Keast Park, around to right there, that's where we were.
Okay.
Actually, we were in a no man's land. It's like Loop 12, Ledbetter, and Cockrell Hill, where Loop 12 meet.
Nice.
It became what's Ledbetter's name? I forget it, but anyway.
Yeah,
there ain't nothing over there.
He worked for Tom's Peanuts. So
Tom's,
you remember Tom's?
Yeah.
It's almost like the little triangle, the red little triangle sign. So he was in the vending business, and at that time, I think in Cockrell Hill there wasn't a lot of people that were trying to be mayor. So
he ended up being still got the best kept secret in Dallas, right there.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, but I remember one day my brother and I were talking. And we were like, "Is Daddy gonna come to our game?" And then my brother said, "No, he doesn't have time for us anymore." He wasn't being. It's just kids just speak truth. And my father overheard that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So dang, how about that?
Yeah.
So we were at Daniel Webster Elementary, then T.W. Brown in Oak Cliff, Concord Baptist Church, 67 in Polk. So it was Oak Cliff life up until one day. They found a space on Fay Street.
Oh, nice. Wow. That's amazing, man.
Junior
Fay
high,
Street.
we moved out there.
Hey, that's awesome.
The principal's first words for us were well, the A's that you made at TV Brown, they're probably going to be failing here.
Oh, man.
We were 4 black kids out of
the
whole school.
Yeah.
And so he ran to the wrong person with my dad, because my dad was like, "Oh, great. So you know Charles?"
Yeah.
And he said, "No. You must know Eric." So show me how you translate these grades. Where's the rubric for that? And he's like, "No, I don't know." So, well, why would you say that?
You're right. Yeah.
My man's all talking Morse code by now. And I look back on it now. We graduated from DeSoto High School. We just went straight mercenary. I don't have any friends from high school per se.
Yeah.
Not that we made it that time, but then coming back around, we remember who the real ones were. Your sister.
Yeah.
And so now we're friends. When we couldn't, I remember at 8th grade, a lot of the friends we had, they were told, "Hey, you can't play with the Henderson."
Oh yeah.
So it was kind of like that, but it wasn't.
Was it because of racism?
Yeah,
okay.
Just race, not even the ism, because they're just stupid on it. We could deal with the 1950s version of kids saying, "Hey, you need," whatever. We took over that whole school, and then I remember later we went to
that's
A&M.
so crazy that it was our probably parents' generation that the race was an issue. You know what I mean? Because I had a friend, he's an Indian fella, and he used to tell me that his name was Terry. Shout out to Terry. And he used to tell me that they wouldn't all the kids would be having a swim party next door, and they wouldn't allow him and his brother to come because they would turn the water brown. That's
people believe that,
and he's hearing this at a youthful age. Yeah, he's a kid, and then he's like, he goes back and probably tells mom and dad, like, Mom, is it true? That I'm going to turn the water. It's like, that's so hurtful. I mean, it's like, and it was the parents. It wasn't the actual kids saying this.
Yeah.
This are parents that were.
That's where the kids get it from.
Yeah,
too.
it was like, yeah, exactly. You're absolutely right. It's like they feed off of what they learn, and that's usually from their parents.
I was renting a space to a young lady and her daughter in Queens, New York, when I was living there.
Yeah,
daughter shows up at that house crying and whatever, and so I get to the house checking on them, and I was like, yo, what's going on? She's crying because the kids were laughing at her in school because she's black.
Oh man,
the kids in her school were all
and
Indian.
this is in New York.
Yeah, the kids in her school were all Indian. If you know anything about Queens, you don't see white
there's
people
a lot,
in Queens.
there's a lot of Guyanese and Trinidadians out there
there's
too.
A lot of everything.
Yeah.
My neighborhood was India. You live in an Indian neighborhood? I said, no. My neighborhood was India. Next to Bangladesh, next to a little slice of Cuba, a big chunk of Colombia.
Right.
And so these are absolute expatriate communities, right?
Yeah.
And so she comes home crying because they were calling her black and making fun of her and calling her N-word, whatever.
That's horrible.
All the kids in her class were Indian.
Yeah.
And so it's a communicated thing. And I don't know how we got on this because I don't even going back to DeSoto, I don't call it, hey, you're being racist against me, because when you see how elemental and elementary it was, I'm like, these kids are just stupid, because I could see the kids who still wanted to play, but they were confused because their parents said no.
Right. Yeah.
And so we like I say, my brother was president of the student body. I did all the student council and stuff. We took over that joint, and it was like, I realized later, man, I don't have any real friends from high school. But then I thought, probably didn't need most of them, but the ones who we've bumped into again, like Bob Dahlquist out at Tobacco and Beyond in Cedar Hill. He's like the premier pipe tobacconist.
Oh, nice.
In Texas.
Oh, wow.
And probably in the country.
And you went to school with him?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
So we played basketball together. Both of us sat the freaking bench, but we got in. But we knew. We were like, yo.
Right.
I mean, and my basketball, I could tell stories about that. It hit me later. I played every project in New York, every park in New York by myself, because I was like, this can't be who I am. And rocked it.
Yeah.
And so the gene hit me later. But anyway, Bob, the coach would throw us in the game.
Mm-hmm.
But we knew it's scrub time, and all these other kids were running around. I was like, yo, my man, just stop.
Right.
These people, if you make a bucket, they're gonna clap, they're gonna go crazy, but they're really laughing at you.
Right.
It's not a movie. So Bob will attest. I said, Bob, we got 5 fouls apiece.
Let's foul everybody. Let's take advantage of these fouls.
Using every daggum one of them. And it was beautiful. Went to Texas A&M after that with 2 of my 3 brothers.
Yeah.
And same thing
So,
there. God bless.
Yeah, man. So you have a very intellectual family then. If you're all A&M graduates.
My youngest brother went to UNT.
Okay, but still, Was he more artsy or no?
No.
Went
Navy. Went Navy. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But I love just what we did. We've always done the eye for everything.
Right.
And so the whole leadership stuff, we did that at A&M too. Love my Aggie family because they don't quit. And was actually this past weekend was down in Austin on some Aggie stuff. There's a young man by the name of Wade Taylor IV who plays for the Mexico City Capitanes. They're the NBA G League franchise based out of Mexico City.
Okay.
I'm like, dude, you're in Mexico City. This is beautiful. And his dad, Wade III, just a beautiful brother. And he just invites us around just to, be part of the journey. And I love it just because, number one, you're in Mexico City. There are only 3 cities in the world: Tokyo, New York City, Mexico City.
Right.
Most people in Texas don't even know Mexico City is like 23 million people.
Oh, yeah. It's like New York.
Vamos, capitanes. O escucha, güey, que estamos aquí hablando del partido de ayer, que no fue totalmente bien, pero ya estamos vamos a corregir. Porque ya llegamos a los playoffs. The playoffs are up. It's the first time the Capitanes have ever made the playoffs.
Oh yeah.
And Wade is showing out down there. So it's a good place to be. Anyway, so we finished Texas A&M, and I went to 3 years working at Pepsi Cola right here in Mesquite. Then I discovered the Texas bias that I saw in New York later. Like, you can't move up. I said, where's Pepsi headquartered? They're out in Somers, New York. Didn't know Somers was that NYC area, like Westchester-ish. And but nobody's going to bring anybody from Texas. There's a huge Texas bias. Matter of fact, I'll give one short one. I was leading the first communications function for the NBA Players Union.
Okay.
Yeah, the NBPA Foundation. So it's the foundation arm. And so they had no website, no nothing. So I'm telling a couple of players, I was like, my man, do you know that people will not know your name unless you either score 60 points or end up in jail?
Yeah, right.
What if we told them that you just built a hospital?
Oh, yeah.
What if and thanks to DB, because the big brother whose agency we worked with to build out the first NBPAfoundation.com website. It's still up there right now. And so it's all about NBA players and the work that they do off the court.
Oh, yeah.
And who they are as fathers and just, people.
Positive stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, man. But one day in a meeting there, we were talking, and I just mentioned, I was talking to some people in Texas who were saying the same thing. And the guy goes, what do you mean, all those backwards ass Trump voting? Do we hear him?
No. That's
Shower
upstairs.
All those backwards ass Trump voting people. I said, well, it turns out I happen to be from Texas, and the person who I was talking about was my mom, but I'm not going to bring my mom into the meeting.
Yeah.
But since I'm here, tell me about my backwards ass mother.
Yeah. Right.
Room got quiet. My man's tapping me on the leg. He's like, yo, E, stop. I said, he's tapping me on the leg right now, asking me to stop.
Yeah.
But it's these exact kind of biases that we just offer off the top of our heads that prevent the type of building like you and I are doing.
Right.
You know, it's and so I discovered that whenever I wanted to make a meeting stop in New York, I could just say one word, Texas.
Yeah.
Real talk. It'll happen right now.
Yeah.
All my guys, Drew, BK, I know y'all listening, but folk will look down, and they're cool because they're out from Queens, which like not Manhattan types.
Right.
And so Queens is where I found Texas folk. They ain't know they were Texas folk. I'm just regular people, right? And so, but anyway, just moving around Manhattan, you say Texas, people will look down to see if you have shoes on.
Oh, yeah.
And then they'll say, you don't sound like you're from Texas. And I say, wow, that's interesting. You don't sound like you've ever been to Texas.
Yeah, right.
And so, yeah, that's it.
The
running started out there. Let me get back to running.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Gym was full up one day in Queens. I used to warm up on the bike, never joined the gym because in Texas, you don't need a gym. You got the outdoors. And so I said, let me try a treadmill. I hate treadmills. Got on it. Long story short, I was like, oh, this is kind of fun.
Right.
Next month, ran the Staten Island half marathon in 1:25. And then I thought, okay, I might be able to do this. And then same year, 3:15, first marathon down in Philly. I ran up the rocky stairs. Oh, somebody's coming.
Yeah. Hold on,
Was that mine?
Is that your phone?
Yeah.
That's your phone?
Yeah, that was my phone.
Oh, it's on the doorbell.
Check it, though, still. Do we have to play the Jeopardy music again?
Yeah, that's your phone. I was wondering what that is. That was what came.
Oh, that's what it was before. My bad.
I was like,
Arrest him.
yeah, perfect. Yeah.
So I'll wrap it right on here with this. Then I started running. Then I'm in Central Park, perfect 6.1 miles around. And I'm starting to eat up these cats wearing these like 4.5-inch shorts and all road runner arrogant. I can say that because I came from it. 2:53 marathon was my best. But they just weren't as kind as people on the trail. I was like, I stopped the guy one day. I was like, hey, yo, can you show me what you're doing here? He was doing hill repeats.
Yeah.
I just saw him running up and down the hill. I'm like, oh, this dude is freaking lost, man. So he comes to the bottom. I was like, can you explain to me a little bit of what your workout? Hey, brother, I'm sorry. The black guy, brother, I'm sorry. I just don't have a lot of time right now. I'm like, dude, you're not in the Olympics.
Right.
You're not on TV. You have time.
Yeah.
I mean, just human time. I'm not going to interrupt somebody's workout.
Right.
But still, and so I made a point after that. I said, I'm going to go eat up all these dudes in the nice gear. I would almost put on Chuck Taylor's and run through that park. And so I was doing a lot of that in New York City.
Nice.
Great place to run.
Yeah. So what? So what about the art? Your art?
Oh shoot.
Yeah, yeah. The art. Because I saw some of your artwork a
Yeah.
little bit in a lot of photographs and stuff like that. So were you out there delivering that stuff as well? Like
Happened the same way we got together. Just in terms of just whoever you are is going to meet up whatever the vibe is and attracts, right? And so this is the first time on the show I've had my camera in the car. But one day walking home at 125th and Park Avenue, there was a place called Junkies Bazaar because it's right next to a methadone clinic.
oh yeah,
Everybody said that.
Junkies Bazaar.
Yeah,
because
they got
selling their
blankets.
stuff right there.
Yeah, I got blankets and selling stuff. You know, so a few people selling stuff. A few guys got that lean on that. So I used to talk to one guy all the time because I would get off the train right there at 125th and Park, the 6th train, and then so I could switch up to get home. And he had this Kodak Brownie Hawkeye 1950 camera.
That's a legendary.
Yeah, it's the first one that put photography in the hands of the masses. We had cameras, but this is the one that just rocked it.
Okay.
Almost like iPhones today. If anything happens before anybody gives you CPR, they're gonna put that phone on record. Like, wow, look, there's a dude on the ground.
Yeah, right.
This is the first one. First one that it's unfortunate. That gave photography to the masses like that. There's that exact moment, the Brownie, and then cameras on the phones. So I took it home thinking I was going to put it on the shelf. Then I said, I wonder if it works. And then I put film in it. I went to B&H Photo over on 8th Avenue on the west side and started shooting with it. And I didn't know that I shot every day for the next 2 years. And I was teaching myself photography.
Nice. That's
And
awesome.
one day a friend of mine said, hey, you should give your work to the Studio Museum in Harlem. I'm like, I'm not a photographer. What are you talking about? Like, no, they have this postcards program. So I sent them a couple of images. My friend Adrian, actually, thank you, Adrian. She sent them images and I didn't know.
Oh,
But then they called me up and say, hey, Eric, we're not going to use your photos. I'm working for GE Capital at the time. I'm like, nah, it's okay. It's good. I'm just messing around with it anyway. They said, no. We want to use your photos in an exhibition.
oh wow.
And so I was printing at like 40 by 40 inches. And so I still didn't quite get it until one day the exhibition opens. I walk in. On the wall is Gordon Parks, James Van Der Zee, Dawood Bey, and then I was like, mommy, you got to get down here.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
So that changed my life, finding that camera on the ground, and I kept shooting ever since. And since then, I have work shown by the Guggenheim Museum, was with the BMW Guggenheim Lab. And the Metropolitan Museum of Art did a collaboration with Adrian Villar Rojas, where he took pictures, life-size 3D plaster 3D printed. So I'm sitting on the rooftop of the Metropolitan Museum for the summer exhibition with these other pieces that they brought up from the basement of the Met that you can't really touch. It's like a 3,000-year-old hippopotamus head from the Sumerian period. And so it's, I'm looking at me in a full 3D, and that's what you'll see on my website, ericjhenderson.org.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, this is wild. That little camera has led me to, that's it. That's crazy. It's just, that's a detail of just the head, but that's a life-size me. Yeah, whatever.
That's awesome.
Ever since then, it's been part of my life, and I've taught it all around the world now. I've done projects in Brazil, in France. Matter of fact, we went to Nova Holanda, numa favela que chamava... Dadgummit. They didn't say favela. That's why I always said neighborhood. But we went to Nova Holanda and did projects there, and in Paris, France, in the banlieue, the neighborhoods outside, because Paris, again, it'd be pretty much all white in the center part, but on the outside is everybody else from everywhere else.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, so I'm still shooting, showing, teaching as we go.
Yeah,
Just
man, that's
did a residency
man.
with DeSoto, the city of DeSoto a while back, and taught PhD students out at University of Texas at Dallas.
Oh, nice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Man.
That's it.
Yeah. He said, that's it. That's great though with the art. So did you, what did you get your degree in?
Mine was in communications.
Oh, okay.
And then after that, I went to graduate school at Thunderbird, thank you, Thunderbird. Thunderbird School of Global Management, which then was based on an old airfield, 1943, in the shape of a Thunderbird. Now they've moved downtown in Phoenix, and it's the Thunderbird School of Global Management, the #1 school for international trade, beating out Oxford, Cambridge,
Nice.
Harvard, and Yale for the past 5 years straight.
Yeah.
When I went there, it was the #1 for international business because I always said I want to go somewhere. And that's what started in college, man. Worked in the Dominican Republic and then in Spain, and ended up living in Spain for a couple of years and going to school out there at ESADE in Barcelona, another graduate school as part of my MBA.
So how was that? I know you tell me that you are a loner that likes people.
Yeah, man. That's why the trail is cool, right? Because what you say, you spend how much time by yourself, but as long as I know there's people out there and around, it's great.
Yeah.
You know.
So all this traveling though and living, you were doing solo basically. Yeah. No, okay. So it was. So yeah, I mean that's an adventure of its own, I think.
Yeah, I totally Forrest Gumped myself out of marriage. Looked up, I was like 35. I'm like, oh crap, wait. People get married and have kids and stuff.
Right.
And it wasn't that it wasn't me. It was me. It's just like then I thought, oh snap, how does this work now?
Yeah.
And I started walking this way. I'm like, whoa. Don't dive into that because now all my friends were on their second.
Yeah, man,
so
that's
said,
true.
Okay, so let's just
the early
however it will happen. If it happens, I'm cool with that.
Yeah, for sure. I got married at 24.
Dang.
Yeah. Then I had my son at 26, so it was good though. It was a great experience, man, and a good life.
How long were you guys married?
We were only married for 4 years. So when he was 2, we got divorced, but we were together for 4 years before that. So 8 years total. So we spent a good.
Is there any stuff that sticks with you like that? Well, that you discover even now about then? Who I am or how I would do something. Yeah.
Oh yeah, man, for sure. Like, for sure. Well, a lot of that time period, I was struck. Well, I don't say I was struggling with drugs, but I was just I partied a lot up until I met her. Then we drank a lot with her because she was a drinker, and but then I started taking on too much. So this is what I did learn in life, that I was taking on too much. At one time, I was working for a company called Cintas, which is a uniform company.
Uniforms,
And I was doing first aid and safety with them. So they have different divisions, and they're based out of Cincinnati. And then I also was bartending when I got off. So, or I wasn't even bartending. I'm sorry. I was bar back. So
and that's a totally different nighttime culture, man.
Yeah.
After it closes, then you guys go out and.
Yeah, exactly. So then, and this was all when she was pregnant with my son. So I was overworked, And so I did learn that overworking can cause you to get into a huge rut, in life, and your stress management and getting stressed out is real, Before it's like life is life, and you just battle it as it goes along. But there is levels of stress that you can avoid, And that can drive people to suicide. That can drive people to heavy uses of narcotics or substance abuse. That can drive people to battering their wives. Just because they're overly stressed and they don't realize it, but that can take over your life, man, in a way, so that I did learn that, man. And probably that during that time frame, I was overly stressed. And then that brought me to a time of separation, so, cause I was trying to point the finger at other people,
everything,
which was her. I was trying to point the finger at my ex-wife which wasn't the case, really. It was me, It was me, and how can I handle or deal with life, you know, and I wasn't doing a good job of it. I might have been too young at the time, you know, and like life experiences are probably more valuable than anything in this world. You know what I mean?
And this is what I appreciate about the trail, because if you go across the trail, there's a strong profile of people who've come from addictive behaviors. I say that with 100% respect because I believe I had them too in a way. And so anybody who can convert that same will, because there is a matter of will, to running 100 miles, you're not really messing with that guy. He's going to be out there killing it, you know, and he's going to commit to it as the thing that takes up that space. And for me, that's probably the addiction would be the loner status. Like with people, I know someone knows me whenever they said, "Man, what do you do? Where do you live?" Because I mean,
right, yeah,
I have a piece in that that kind of moving around, but definitely not a loner. You know what I mean?
right, yeah,
But I'm just going to be everywhere. And I remember, but the stress does catch up with you real in that. I founded a company called Stratagem Entertainment with a gentleman by the name of Michael Cerenzi. And you can look this stuff up in Hollywood Reporter and in Variety Magazine. We closed a deal with the Chinese government that included a 17-film slate.
Okay.
We went in and just fixed one film, the finances behind it. And so I was doing all the numbers and presentation, and Michael being a genius at having done the film Before the Devil Knows You're Dead with Philip Seymour Hoffman. We just bumped into each other over cigars.
Right.
That's how it works. And so this opportunity comes up through so many different ways. We get this deal fixed, and then it came up through so Trevor actually at Hoo Studios in New Zealand. That was the lead film called Beast of Burden, which eventually it was released under another name later. But that was the first film on the slate. And so we said, you know, what if we did this for more? And we built a slate of films, got direct negotiation with the Chinese government. The person we negotiated with directly at that time, 33 years old. I've never met sharper people in my life.
Right.
You hand them a 40-page deck with the whole deal in it. Man flips to page 22 and says, "This doesn't make sense." Why? Because of page 47, you say this. Page 122, you said this. And it's like, whoa. And so I loved it. That was my real MBA. But the point is the stress. We got that deal done. And working 3 years straight, calling people I won't even know, like who got out of their seats at the Cannes Film Festival. I went down there a couple times to help us close this deal. Like some names you would need to help you close something on that level, even if he's not in the deal. And so I realized one day I'm on a phone call with Michael and I'm crying, but I didn't know it.
You didn't even know you're crying.
Probably like you, like stress. You can say, "Oh, I'm stressed," but then the other type of stress is where you're like, "Nah, I got this, whatever.
Right.
I got it." But
So
you can do that, but you can't fool your body.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, that's in being. I'm not going to say being a man, but just us as men, probably.
It was definitely some tough guy out.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Tough guy.
Like,
you want to be like. Yeah, you think you can out tough stress. You know what I mean? Like you're stronger than stress.
I hadn't slept for 3 years.
Which isn't true, man. Yeah.
We worked 3 years straight. I don't count an hour. Real talk. And then on that call, Mike says, "Hey, man, let's just catch up again later this evening. Not even tomorrow, later this evening." I said, "What are you talking about? I just finished the spreadsheet. We got to do this, and the other." He said, "You're crying, man." I said, "What do you?" And I was like, "Whoa."
Yeah.
And that was the body.
Right. Yeah.
You know, and I won't just say the body. I'm not going to try to tough it out here. It was the body. It was everything.
Yeah. And you're overwhelmed.
You can't just,
life overwhelmed you at that point. Yeah. And man, that's.
We got it done though.
Yeah. That's what I learned probably of during that time frame, you know, and that's why I'm not big on, I think we were talking about having children earlier, like the young kids having children, and I was I think childhood's beautiful, and I don't ever think that they should find a way to get rid of a child ever,
Right.
during pregnancy or the birth, and so, but it is difficult for someone that age to become a parent, and it's going to be, there's a lot involved, and a lot of people don't realize it, or a lot of people do realize it, but a lot of the young youth doesn't realize it, that's a lot,
Wow.
And when you're talking about stress, so when we're talking about stress, man,
And you deal with it some kind of way, whether you realize it or not.
You have to. Yeah.
Like it deals with you, or you. I mean,
Right. That's what I always said. I said, I'm like, it's going to be okay because you're going to find a way. We all find a way.
Yeah.
So it will be okay. But it's just there's a lot, that goes on, and it can ruin relationships, and it can ruin your own mental state. Like
Right.
stress is real, man. Like it'll cause people to get sick.
Yep.
Physically sick.
Yeah, I probably ran folks away, not even knowing that I had stress.
Yeah.
I feel like, nah, I'm good. What are you doing? Well, I'm moving to Spain. What are you doing? I'm working in the Dominican Republic. What are you doing? I'm shooting with this camera. What are you doing? I'm working with the NBA. What do you do? And so I was like, and it seemed a normal flow for me, which is why New York was a great place because, not because of New York City. I mean, I was there for 25 years, fresh back in Texas now, but people think it's like, oh man, you love New York. I said, I love it, but not for the reasons you would think, because it's a great jumping off place. 6 hours to Barcelona, 6 hours to London, 6 LA. Like I didn't let it own me. I wasn't conscious about that, but it was just a great base.
Right.
Plus, I love the randomness of being able to walk out of your door and just bump into everything from a guy shooting at you to a nice couple from New Zealand just having a coffee. None of those are exaggerations. One time we run a basketball court. I used to live in Bed-Stuy, right, directly across from Marcy houses. And so
that's
playing.
In a lot of rap songs.
Yeah, that's where Jay is from.
That's maybe why.
So we were playing one day right there in the front court at Myrtle Willoughby Station, and this guy, and I knew nobody there, but I knew they all knew me, because when you move into a neighborhood, folk gonna call it the hood, they think, oh, how are you? You have to change the way you talk, dress. I'm like, dog, that's the first way to get jacked, and you should. By disrespecting somebody enough to think you can fool them. No, I'm from Texas. I'm a brother from Texas. I can't go, yo, son. Blah, blah, blah.
Right.
But I can ball though. That's
right. There you go, man.
And so I would go out and I said, well, they gonna come get me if I don't go dead off in here and get my work on. And so I would play ball, and it's great. So people knew me, but not too close. They knew, and it was respect all around. It was beautiful, actually.
Yeah.
One day we're playing, the guy says, hey, my man, hold up a bit. And I'm like, okay, if he says hold up, I'm going to hold up.
Right.
2 seconds later, pow, goes off the first shot. And so I'm older than all of them by this time, too. I was like, yo, I'm waiting because I don't want to run towards it. I hear the second shot, and then pow, I'm off. And so we start running, and he got this guy in the shin. He got this car over here.
No. Yeah.
And I'm running with these kids, and I remember them saying, dang, old timer in first place. I'm like, dude, I'm not dying on a basketball court for nothing.
Yeah, man, for sure.
It was great.
Hey, did you, so I have a question for you. Were you homeless ever there?
Homeless? Yes.
In New York.
Where did that come from?
Where did it come from? I was just wondering, because it's common people find at a young age, if they're going up to New York, that finding a place to stay is very expensive.
Yeah.
And people either they'll shack up with people, or they're buying something that's very small and it has rats in it or something, so it's like, and you're paying an arm and a leg for that. It's like, so that's why I think me and you've had conversation before. That's why I brought it up. Was there a time of homelessness or why you were there in New York, because I know that is a challenging place. I even used to be friends with American Airlines stewardess, and she was like, yeah, I keep all my belongings in a storage unit, and then I just find places to stay. Either sleep at the airport or I'll sleep, wherever. And she showed me one time her unit, and it was like tiny, and I was like, and you pay this much for that?
Yeah.
So that's the only reason why I brought it up. I wasn't
No,
meaning
anything.
anything.
We're here to chop it up.
Yeah, I thought you brought that up to me once before, that you've had a struggle over there.
Definitely spoken it.
Yeah,
This room right here, I had a friend who was renting for $3,000 a month, Central Park South. And I was like, dog, I'm glad I'm from Texas, because number one, you can never make that make sense to me if I have the money. Like,
right.
And so if you have money to $3,000, he and his wife were living in this room. It's just like 200 square feet. All right. And I was like, dog, it doesn't make human sense.
Yeah.
But I understand it in one way. You can say, well, when you live in New York City, you really live in the city. You don't live in your house. A lot of people can identify with that, but don't try to play yourself by like, yo, I got this great exposed brick. I'm like, my man, you live in a closet. An exposed brick closet with an airplane sink. You know the sink in the airplane?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And so you wash your hands. If you get pull in, turn, there's a shower.
Yeah.
If you squat down, you're on the commode.
Right.
So I was like, thank God for that. That doesn't make sense to me. Bought a house in Queens.
Yeah.
And immediately your credibility goes down in New York City. And so I met these people, some fine black folks up in Harlem. Hey, this is my man E. He just moved here from Spain. And they're like, whoa. I saw on the girls, the meter goes up. They're like, wow.
Yeah.
He's from Texas. The meter went down.
Yeah.
He just moved to Queens, off the chart.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, wow, the class game is really specific there.
Yeah.
People will say, where do you live? So people would rather pay 5 G's to live in this room here than buy a 4-bedroom house in Jackson Heights, Queens.
Yeah.
Where I'm cutting grass.
So that was that was the first place that had bottled service.
Where?
It was New York. And it didn't reach the clubs here until like later, where it was like,
nice.
Oh, you got to get a bottle and you get your own VIP little area and stuff. But up there, it was like, you had to do that if you were going
way
to
to invent a new scam, because they're like, hey, wait a minute, we can charge $300 for this 22 bottle of Grey Goose nonsense.
That's what they were doing.
But not to jump over the homeless part. Yeah, it was even after we had signed. The number sounds crazy, but look it up, people. In Variety Magazine, Stratagem Entertainment, $800 million film slate deal.
Yeah,
that it goes to crap.
Right.
And I just bought a home in
Queens.
New Jersey.
Oh, New Jersey.
Fresh across the water.
Yeah.
Everything got booted out of that Thanksgiving Day in front of the judge. And there's probably a gentleman listening to now that I'm glad you're years enough away where I said, I need to go do something there. Then I thought, nope, that's not me. That would be all in my life as well. And so, now I'm thankful for not what he did, but for the moment that God put my face in the dirt. Because in the dirt, the only person you can see is Christ.
Right.
It's Jesus.
Yeah.
And so and these moments, it's been a little bit of a journey where I say, okay, everything that happens is his will. And that's not a slogan. The world that we live is ordained by what Jesus has already ordained since the beginning of time. We're not living the matrix per se. Like, things still happen. We still have agency, but it's not that it's not ordained. And so it changed me in this way. I got to, number one, living homeless. I was like, yo, my people put enough of me from Texas. I didn't call home. Nobody knew, wasn't hiding. I was just busy. I woke up and put those running legs to work. Yeah. I ran down to the EBT place. I was like, $400 you get groceries? I didn't buy that much when I had loot.
Yeah.
And so got that, and then got a job immediately after. When you're out for 3 years, you can't just jump back in corporate, right? And so I said, what do I do, man, that people need? I said, I speak Portuguese. And so I tried it. Went to Dish Networks, working for $12 an hour as a Brazilian Portuguese language customer service.
Oh, wow.
And so I was like, I don't know if I speak it, but I need to eat.
Yeah.
And they ain't worried about you learning language when the old lady's TV is not working.
Right.
There's a pocket on Martha's Vineyard, which is mostly Brazilian. The innards of Martha's Vineyard are Brazilian. There's a huge population there. And so I got on the phone and discovered, like, oh, crap, I can do this.
Right.
And after a couple of months, they said, de onde é você? I said, Dallas. And no, do Brasil. De onde é você no Brasil? They said, where are you from in Brazil? I'm like, no, I'm from Dallas, man. Like, whoa. And so the machine crunk up very nicely. And then about a year into that, I get a call from the NBA Players Union needing somebody to head up their communications.
Oh, nice.
And so that's when we went.
So yeah, that's you, communications.
That's what it's been, yeah.
Well, Eric, we've been chatting for over an hour. Let's we're going to continue, I'm sure, with our we're going to start doing this more often if we run into an issue with not having a guest or they have to cancel on us, so we can continue to talk more about our lives.
The thing about it is good after 45 to finally introduce ourselves to people. I appreciate how you do it, because getting lost in the guest.
Oh, yeah.
That's what we do. We talk to everybody, and every story is amazing.
Oh,
It
yeah.
really is, man.
It is, man. I agree. And I love listening to everybody's journey. We learn a lot too, even from the youth, younger people, some older people, whatever it is. We learn a lot. So we're going to probably end it here, and we will see you guys soon.
Cheers, folks. Good.